Hi there, it's Melissa and I'm back, and today I'm showing you a layout that I made for our latest reveal for May over at Let's Get Sketchy. And the sketch is by our leader Bryn Chevier, and it's a really awesome one because it's got a lot of white space in it, and I decided to use that white space with a patterned paper background. And so I chose this really pretty diagonal black and white stripe, and it's got a bit of added interest on it. It's got splatters that are greeny blue colour, and it's also got what looks like some text on the edges. So here I wanted to mount this photo on this piece of crepe paper, like wood grain, and I know some people don't like it, but I love those little bits of, well, they're fake, but they look like aged pieces of sellotape. So I wanted to have that feature at the top, and I love that the pink of my daughter's top works really well with the pale tones of the wood grain. The sketch shows a lot smaller photo than what I've got, but I don't want to trim this photo down, and I just really believe these sketches can work however you want them to. So this is made with my March hip kit, and I got the main kit, and it was the first time that hip kit has put out a Project Life kit, so I was really keen to get that. And although I don't do Project Life, in the past I've found that Project Life kits from kit clubs are really good for extra embellishments, and I have used this Project Life kit to create a series of pocket pages for a holiday that we took last year as a family. And this photo is of my husband and our youngest daughter, and I already had another photo which was a little bit similar of the two of them, so this one was left over, and I thought it would be perfect for this page, and then it can go directly into her album. So the sketch showed, I think it was 3 rectangular layers to the left of the photo, and I decided to cut mine into banners, and I really like how that looks, and I really like the look of layering up banners and having different widths and different lengths, and I find that 3 works really well, having 3 banners. So this piece of paper is quite difficult for me to use because I love both sides of it, and I didn't get the pattern paper add-on, so I've had to make decisions about how much of each side I'm going to use. And for this one, I think I'm doing the floral side. So I use the measurements on my trimmer just to work out where the center is, and then just, as you can see, that's how I cut my banners. I know you can get dies, you can get punches, you probably cut them on your silhouette, but that is just such a quick and easy technique. Now I'm just trying to work out how I'm going to work in that Project Life card, and right there it doesn't look that great. So at this point, I think I'm about to cut another banner. No, I'm not. Okay, this is my newest toy, and it's a Stampin' Up! Notebook Edge Punch, and I've wanted it for such a long time now, and so excited to finally get it. I've got a friend who sells Stampin' Up!, and I just found out about a week ago that Stampin' Up! Put out their retired products list, and I just can't believe that this punch is on that list. So yeah, glad to get it, because I don't know, I haven't seen any other, well, here in New Zealand anyway, I haven't seen any other punch that has made it over here. So I'm probably going to see a lot of these edges on my layouts for the next wee while. So I wanted to have a peak of gold underneath that border, underneath the notebook. So I'm just roughing up the edges to make it look realistic, like I've ripped it out of a binder, and using my trusty double-sided tape to get those layers down. At the very end of making this layout, I've added my machine stitching, and as you'll see as this layout progresses, I actually add another piece. I add the floral over the top of that notebook, well, not over the notebook edge, but over that paper. So I essentially have 3 layers, and then I machine stitch a line down. And I do that because I just love the texture that it adds. And I used to be hesitant about stitching through so much adhesive, but I found it doesn't damage the needle. If the needle gets too sticky, I just get methylated spirits and cotton wool pad or cotton wool bud, and I just clean the needle, and yeah, it's always worked out fine for me, and I just carry on. So here I'm using my mat, and I'm using the lines just to make sure my banners are straight. If I'm doing a more kind of messy layout where the banners are askew, I don't worry about having to line them up, but I just wanted to make sure, especially because that gold and white paper has got that horizontal line. It took me quite a lot to work out where I wanted to put this card, but the best place for it was right there, and I'll be using it for my journaling. So that's the piece that I'm adding, and it's a beautiful floral, and I think it really finishes the page nicely and pulls across that little floral banner, it pulls across the same pattern and colours. I love those 4 actually, if you count the background. Those 4 papers together are just gorgeous. So that polka dot there, I never got to use because I chose to use the other side, but that's a decision that I had to make. Another first world scrapping problem. So here I'm using my trusty favourite packaging technique again, and I've chosen a Heidi Swap Colour Shine Mist, and I think it's Seafoam, and it matches really well with the splatters that are already on the paper. And I just needed something behind the paper layers in the photo. I didn't want to go too full on mixed media, I just needed a little something to provide some interest. And so this works really well. So I'm finding that Project Life card is a bit stark, and I guess because a lot of this is crepe paper product, which is quite distressed, so I'm just using the paint dabber from last month, and I'm just adding some of the pink just around the edges, and I find that helps tie in that card, tone it down, and ties it in with the pink on my daughter's top. So here I'm deciding that I need a 3rd little banner on that cluster there, and just wanted something subtle, not too full on. I didn't think that a thicker banner would really work too well, so I'm just going with that little piece and just working out where to place it. So how was your National Scrapbooking Day or International Scrapbooking Day? I always find the day the weekend is quite challenging. Well, aside from partaking in challenges, I find that because we're here in New Zealand, that we're a day ahead of most of the world. So by the time we start, it's Saturday, and weekends are pretty full on with 3 kids and husband. It's a real family time, so I always find that I don't have that much time to scrapbook, and I'd love to just partake in a lot more challenges, and I really have to pick and choose what I'm going to do. So it was really awesome to be part of the video hop that I posted my layout, I think it was yesterday, the day before. That was really awesome, and today I was working on a layout for Hip Kit challenge, well, one of the challenges over there. Anyway, I was in the middle of working on that, and I had my son off today with a cold, and Anyway, he was in the next room over from me, and we heard this rumbling sound which sounded like a truck, and then suddenly the ground was shaking and rolling, and he's yelling out, "Mum, Mum, what's happening?" And I said, "Quick, it's an earthquake," and we got under the doorway, and yeah, it was quite a big one, and it was followed by an aftershock. We got baby, well, she's not a baby. She's not a baby, I have to keep reminding myself. She is though, she's only just turned 1, she's a baby. Anyway, so we got her and we're standing under the doorway, and it's growing up in New Zealand, we have training on what to do in earthquakes from probably when we start school. Where I live here in Queenstown, it's fault lines run through here, and there's like a major fault line up the South Island and part of the North Island. So we always know that earthquakes happen, like they did in Christchurch. Anyway, pretty full on. Could have been quite scary, but I told myself I had to stay calm for Sam because he was scared. But after it, man, my heart was pounding. And we're just so blessed that it was only, well, it was 6.0 on the Richter scale, but it's not that huge. And my heart really goes out to the people in Nepal who are suffering terribly from that major earthquake. And it also, of course, makes me think about our own people in Christchurch, how they've suffered two horrific earthquakes, really. And so, yeah, it's just a bit of a wake-up call today that we really have no control over what happens. And when I was praying, and I'm just relieved that it wasn't that big, and just reminded me of life, and you know, there's so much happening in the world, and we're just blessed, really, so blessed. So enough of my rambling. Just wanted to share that with you. But I was working on a layout for one of the challenges over at HipKit Facebook group, which was the National Scrapbooking Challenge, one of the challenges. And yeah, I think I always look at that layout now and think, wow, I created you during an earthquake, kind of. Obviously not during. You get what I mean. Okay, back to the layout because I am rambling. So these are the bits and pieces from both kits, and I had lots of chipboard hearts and then some puffy sticker hearts. That little chevron bokeh pink, like an arrow, absolutely love that. I folded it and popped up either side with some dimensional adhesive, and then in my final shot you'll see that I sewed through the middle. Now my video is about to cut off, well, my filming is about to cut off because my battery died, but all you'll miss is me placing and gluing down the sequins. I've got some close-ups and a final shot coming. Just want to say thank you and welcome to my new subscribers. And thank you everyone for your awesome, lovely comments. I don't always get a chance to reply to all of them, but I definitely read them, and I really do appreciate all your encouragement. So thanks for watching and listening to me ramble, and I'll be back again soon. Cheers.